Hi guys, it's Chris from Azure here. Basically, we just wanted to talk about some of the stuff we got up to for the Mistress video shoot and some of the stuff that happened behind the scenes in order for us to make our first band in a field music video. So basically, we wrote the song Mistress and ended up being like a 3-minute long, very dramatic, compact little piece of music. And we listened to it and we were excited by it, but we were like, damn, that's crazy. How do we make a music video for that? And we had all these cool ideas like, oh yeah, we'll do the digital stuff, we'll use our green screen. We didn't really want to do anything indoors because of social distancing. So we were like, don't worry guys, we'll scout an outdoor location, it's going to be sick. So we went on a particular adventure in search of a music video location. And we went somewhere which we've been putting off for a while, which is Devil's Dyke in Brighton. And we finally went there, and the particular day that we went there was just spectacular. Like, the sunlight was there and it was like lighting up the hills and they were perfectly green, but there was this mist, this amazing ethereal mist that was just creeping up the side of the hills, almost as if it was like a wave from the sea, kind of just like lapping onto the side of a beach. But it was just like we were really, really high up and the mist was just dense and it was just kind of actually obstructing the vision that we had of the land so that we could just see these like the tips of these hills. It was bizarre. And we were like, this is magical. This is the place we got to be. And like, that was us. We were like, this is a sign. We've got to use this place. We sent pictures to the guys. We were like, how amazing is this? This is what we're going to do. See, told you we could find a cool place. And there was some cool ruins around. And yeah, basically everything we could have wanted in this kind of like celestial location. So we made some preparations for the shoot day. We like hired out the kit that we needed. And it was getting up towards the shoot day, and we were like, the forecast isn't looking great, but I suppose that's what it's going to be like when there's mist. We bought ourselves some backup instruments, which involved me running in the dead of night, like 1.5 miles from my flat to collect this like 100-pound 5-string bass. Weatherproof backup bass acquired. Now thus begins the mile-long walk home in the dark carrying this bass in the rain. And then run back with it in the rain, which was soul-destroying. And secondly, we bought like a drum kit, which we were going to replace the heads of, or like repaint the heads of. So the day before the shoot, me and Galen were at his, and we were like, all right, we need to repaint the heads of this drum kit. Basically, our idea was, or Galen's idea was, we'd get rid of like all of the branding from the heads of the kit and create these awesome like stencils using an alphabet that I'd created for some of the Azure like lore and some of the fantasy stuff, which we'll go into at some point, but not today. And it was just so sick. Like, Galen had literally hand cut out all these stencils into card and into paper.
Dude, this shit is fucking difficult. Look, like, I gotta do this shit by fucking hand, man. What the fuck am I doing?
And he bought the right spray paints. We got a black one and a white one. And he also bought this spray paint remover so that we could A, use it to remove the branding, and B, use it to get rid of or clean up any of the spray painting that we did. Firstly, what is absolutely hilarious is that the spray paint remover, and I'm sorry if this is somebody's brand that I'm just about to take the mick out of, but it's the most classist thing I've ever heard. It was called Asbo.
Can't believe they call this fucking spray Asbo. That's just... Jesus Christ. Alright.
Like, of course it was. And the funniest thing is that when it came to removing the branding from the drums, the Asbo spray paint remover was terrible. So what actually ended up doing the job was just like your classic acetone nail varnish remover.
Pour some of this on here. Whoop, there you go. A little bit of that on there. So I can go... It's literally fucking gone. Like, why did I buy that can of fucking... Now it's time for the final fucking trial. Will this do it? Oh my god, it's just fucking going. Well, this was fucking easy then, wasn't it?
So we got rid of all of that, wiped away all of the branding. So the time came to actually spray paint on with the stencils. And the card stencils were fantastic. Did the trick. They had enough weight so that they didn't like let any of the like the splash ricochet from the actual surface and underneath the stencil. So it was great. Those were really good. The paper ones were soul-destroyingly difficult to use, to the point where me and Galen, like, my hands had gone black from holding down these stencils, and we keep cleaning it and trying again, but it just wasn't going very well. And we were just like, what's the point? So we were like, let's go on a walk. We considered maybe buying a new drum head for the kick drum. And also we were like, let's maybe see if we could find like a rare item for our B-roll. So of course, we head out into Brighton town, and firstly we hit up the music store, but they don't have what we want, so we couldn't really get the kick drum head we needed. Shame. But we did go to this great big store, which again, people who are local would have heard of, called Snooper's Paradise. And we were like, this place is definitely gonna have what we need. Because we just wanted some like interesting items for the B-roll. And literally within 5 minutes of snooping in Snooper's Paradise, we found this incredible, like, rusty, ancient grappling hook. It was like this big. And we were like, that is it. But we were like, wait a second, we can't use this unless we get some thick rope to go with it. So we had the grappling hook, and we went up to the counter in the shop, slammed it on the table, and we were like, does this come with rope? And they were like, all right, we'll go and get you some rope, I guess. And the guy just shouts this woman to go and get this rope, and this poor lady comes back with this rope, and she really didn't look like she wanted to give it to us. And the guy was like, we don't like selling rope to people, really. And we were like, yeah, we can imagine why. So anyway, we bought this thick rope and this great big grappling hook, and suddenly we were like absolutely thrilled. And suddenly all of our initial fears had been completely put to rest, and everything felt like it was going to be okay again because we had this great big hook. And we were like, this is going to be the best video in the world. So we took the hook back with the rope, still beaming, and we just got on with it, and we just powered through the spray painting and made it happen, and we ended up with the drum heads that we wanted. So we were like, honestly, tomorrow is going to be fine. So we packed up our stuff. I went home to get ready, and we agreed to meet about 7 o'clock on the hills the next day. So the next day, I get picked up by John, our manager, at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we drive through the pitch black to Devil's Dyke for sunrise. And we get there, watch the sun come up, it's really nice. We set up all of our gear, but it's really cold, like way colder than I remember it being when we scouted out the location. The forecast was worse than what we'd anticipated, and there was just this like 100-mile-an-hour wind. It was just obliterating everything that we'd put anywhere. So we were wrapped up in like 5 coats, gloves, hats, like hand warmers in our pockets, just trying to set up the drum kit. And we couldn't even do it where we wanted to, where the light was, because A, there was no mist, so it looked terrible, and B, there was like myriad cows. So we were filming. We got company. Hey guys! Just standing there, these huge hench black cows, just standing in our way. So we ended up having to use the ruins, which we liked a bit more, and kind of shielded ourselves, and we made camp behind the ruins, shielded ourselves there, and then did most of our filming in this one spot, which kind of somehow managed to avoid the main eddies of wind that were coiling around the rest of the hillside. But even then, it was a nightmare. So we set up the kit.
Improvised wind breaks on the drums. Oh my god.
And honestly, like, every single time we got the kit standing how we wanted it to, something would blow over.
Oh my god, it's falling apart!
It was getting to the point where the wind was literally obliterating everything. Like, we had our camera stuff, all of our equipment, like the camera bag went rolling down the hill, the boys had to run after it, and I just kind of watched them like, glad that's not me running after it. And it was just hell. And like, we were trying to get all the solo shots of Sol from Auri, who was doing the drums for us that day. Check out Auri. Best black metal band I've ever heard in my life. And like, he was killing it.
You're killing it!
Sol was killing it. But we were suffering because we were just running after these cymbals and trying to hold them up. And every time he hit anything too high, it was just everything was falling to pieces. The wind wouldn't allow us to have a moment of peace. And we were like, all right, this is just what it's like when we're just filming the drums. What's it going to be like when we don't have any free hands because we're all going to be playing our instruments too? So we got to that bit, and actually somehow everything behaved itself, but our hands were freezing. And we had hand warmers and gloves, but it just wasn't enough. Because honestly, like, I couldn't even move my fingers. I couldn't even play chords. And my guitar part's the easiest part in the entire of the arrangement. So Galen's part, impossible. He could barely move his hands. He had to basically just move aggressively just to kind of give like an impression of playing music. And Alex somehow just slayed it. Alex has a bionic thumb, a bionic hand, I swear to God, because the guy just killed it all the way through the day. But yeah, so he was fine. And Reese nailed it. But me and Galen were just like wimping out, trying to play our guitars. And obviously my voice was getting hoarse because obviously I wanted to look like I was singing, so I was singing. But trying to sing against that wind was just like... So after about another hour and a half of wind suffocation, we kind of were like, all right, we've finished with the band shots. In a minute, we're going to do our solo shots where we focus on the individual instruments, and then we'll do the B-roll afterwards. But we could not bear the thought of doing any solo shots. By this point, Galen had gone off to sit in the car, and he was there trying to warm up, trying to get his hands back into any kind of playing condition.
Man, I literally can't even fucking move my fingers. Like, pretty... they're moving a bit more now. Now I've been sitting in the car. So fucking cold today. Literally don't know how we're gonna fucking manage the rest of this video. We got some shots.
Really bad. Like, we couldn't move our fingers to play simple chords or anything. It was that cold. So Galen was there just practicing, trying anything to get it all working again. But that is when, I don't know if we had a guardian angel at this point who managed to intervene and go, these guys have had terrible luck today, let's give them something. And then the pub at the top of the building opened at midday. Sorted out all of our stuff, and we went and we just sat in the pub for an hour with hot drinks at midday, just warming up our hands. And we like charged ourselves up as good as we possibly could. Really nice pub, by the way. And Galen like just warmed up his hands, and we were like, literally, the second we step out of this building, Galen is going to have to dash out, and we are just going to film him playing that solo so that we don't have to worry about it ever again. So basically, once we'd gotten back out into the outdoors, all felt okay again. Very briefly. So we got ourselves to the middle of the ruin where we decided we were going to shoot all of Galen's solo guitar playing. And we just set up everything and it was ready to go. The speaker was playing the music. We were just working on our, like, the kind of shot and everything like that. It seemed to be going really well. And then I was like, guys, look behind you. And they were here.
They have arrived.
The cows were here. There was 100 cows sat literally right behind the ruin watching Galen mime the guitar part like this. And like, I've never seen cows so entertained yet so displeased by what was entertaining them, because they were not happy, but they were transfixed. And so we just had to kind of tolerate like a billion cows just watching and threatening us with their eyes while we got on with the rest of those guitar takes. So look out for them in the video if you haven't already spotted them. We tried our best to not use as much cow footage as there was. And yeah, we just got through that. Galen smashed it in the end, and he looked great as well. Didn't we look great in our kimonos? Let's just be honest, despite how cold it was. And then we went on to do the Alex shots, and by this point it had started to rain. And Alex, he was a titan and got his way through all of these takes, like all the solo shots, and yeah, he just absolutely slayed it. And then it got to me, and we had this angle where I was going to be like this silhouette, not so much a silhouette, but just kind of like obscured by the way that the light was upon this particular kind of part of the, like this ridge of hill, and then the filming would be happening from below. Because we're getting all this rain, and the song, like, we're talking about, like, she's like a storm goddess for quite a lot of the time. That's what we're singing about. And so we were like, it's still appropriate. We didn't get the day we wanted, but let's just embrace the weather. Let's just deal with it. This is the only day we've got. Everything will go, like, we're going to go into lockdown soon, so we just got to get the footage we need, and it's going to have to be good enough. So I'm there singing and trying my best to perform my heart out. And like, the cameraman was just like, fell down, and like, there was just water everywhere. We kept the shot, and like, it's you can sense the pain, you can sense the anguish in the filming of that part. And then anytime you zoom in on my face, my eyes are like absolutely clamped shut, because there was like this ridiculous wind blowing enormous drops of rain into my eyes like that. And I was like, I can't actually open my eyes by this point. So every single shot of me singing, I'm like, la, 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 crying, you know what I mean? So somehow we managed to get through that. But by this point, we were like, we are going to die. And some of us had been awake for like, at this point, by 24 hours. And we finished my shots and I got down from the hill. My hands felt broken. I ended up using my Strat, even though the other guys used their like backup instruments. I was too stubborn and I was like, no, I want to use my Strat. I really regretted it because it got rained on so badly. And I come down feeling so defeated, and everyone, we kind of just looked at each other and we looked at the hook in the bag and we were like, let's not do the B-roll. So the one thing that had kept us going for the day were all these cool ideas of B-roll we had with the hook and the rope. And we had so many ideas, I'm not even going to bother to explain right now. But like, we just abandoned it. We abandoned every single B-roll idea that we had. So yeah. So that is how you shoot a music video in a field with one day. But anyway, I hope you found some of the stuff that I've just shown you amusing. We enjoyed putting this video together just because we just love making videos and we just love sharing the funny times that we have with anyone who wants to watch it. So if you haven't seen the Mistress video, check it out and you'll spot all of this pain that I'm explaining to you right now. And check it out on Spotify and keep an eye out for our page because some more things will be coming in the near future. Thanks for watching.